you recognize that you didn't have the healthiest coping mechanisms. You were just kind of going, which is also something that I think a lot of students and a lot of staff do, especially in academic setting. There's always a pressure to produce. I'm thinking about that and wondering, what are the most common forms of workplace trauma in academia, particularly experienced by Black and BIPOC staff?
Question. That's a very, very good question. What's the most common traumatizing experiences? I think you said
Yeah.
in academia, gaslighting. I think that when you are a minority in these spaces and people are either unaware or intentionally manipulative and there's no representation, you are gaslit often. And so for those of you who don't know it, well, we're talking to therapists, so therapists know what gaslighting is. And so when you're gaslit all the time, even though you feel very firm in who you are, you're questioning yourself. So one of the experiences that I write about in the op-ed was when I was curating the vigil for Black Lives, following the murder of George Floyd. And I was, tasked with curating that from start to finish with some more peers. And I was, putting together the flyer. And I was like, I need a flyer that's really going to represent the community. And so I picked the traditional Black fist. And I submitted the fist to the department who was creating the visuals. And they sent me back a white fist. And part of gaslighting is making you question, am I crazy? Like, I was like, hey, surely they wouldn't do that. Like, you would not take a visual for Black lives where you're supposed to be honoring, and then like honoring Black lives who've been straight down, life taken prematurely by state sanctioned violence, and you would not plaster a white fist on this message. So I know but you're in it, but because it's so blatant, So I'm asking my peers, like, hey man, like, did y'all see it? Am I crazy? What do y'all see? And everybody was like livid, like that is a white fist. So you send it, you push back, and I'm like, hey y'all, this is upsetting, and the dismissal and the, oh, you're overreacting, oh, it's not a big deal, oh, I don't understand why you're even behaving in this way. That to me is that's part of the trauma, like the gaslighting. I also think secondary trauma, I think a lot of Black people, specifically Black and brown folks, more